Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have everything to talk about today. Everything from how late is too late from when you're getting to your main dining reservation, and if you're late, what should happen to you? How about a cruise ship fresh out of dry dock, a relatively new cruise ship, and there's already anger over the changes they've made on board. And we have some bad news again for people who are sailing on the Carnival Sunshine. They just can't catch a break. So quickly, Carnival Sunshine was stuck in port in Norfolk, Virginia, and they couldn't leave because rough seas and the weather. So they ended up spending a whole night in port, meaning their cruise to Bermuda was short one day. Flash forward to today, and it's arriving back, and the seas have been rough getting back. And so it is going to be delayed getting back into port. So not only did they lose time leaving, now they are going to be late getting back. And they were supposed to arrive, for disembarkation starting around 7 a.m. in the morning. Well, as of 9 o'clock this morning, they are still over 100 miles from Norfolk, which means they won't be arriving till the afternoon at the earliest, which of course means embarkation for the next guests are also going to be delayed again. So yeah, the people on board just can't catch a break. I hope they don't have flights. I hope they're all locals on the ship or driving, but what a mess again. But it's the weather, folks, and they have to keep us as safe as possible and as little seasick as possible because it's a smaller ship as well. But talk about getting both ends of the storm, arriving and leaving. I mean, poor guys on that ship. Next, let's talk about something that happened with a Carnival guest who wrote into John Hill and said, hey, I was recently on a Carnival cruise and we arrived for our main dining seating, which was early seating, 35 minutes late. And they told us to go to the buffet. They wouldn't seat us. Now, John Hill is basically applauding them, saying, 35 minutes late for early seating. Don't forget, there's a late seating as well, which means everybody who eats at early dining, they have to clear out, reset the tables, redo the dishes and set them up and everything, and get ready for the next guest to come in. So if they're running 35 minutes behind their dining time, that eats into the other folks' dining time. And a lot of people chimed in, one person saying, we were at a table of 10 and 2 people continued to arrive 4 out of our 6-night cruise 45 minutes late for dinner each night. And the waiters will serve the whole table at once, each different meal, right? So your entrees will all come at the same time. Your desserts will all come at the same time. So because these guests arrived late, they had to sit there and wait for their desserts while the other couple caught up. And that's not fair to the other 8 couples who arrived on time. And needless to say, they were not happy with these 2 guests. Other people say, well, you should be able to kind of eat whenever you want, but they understand that they have to flip it over. Now, late dining times, you probably have more leeway because nobody is coming to eat afterwards. However, they would love to be able to close up the kitchen and do the rest of their duties, right? And maybe go home and go back to bed and relax a little bit after a long, long day of serving in the restaurant. But what do you guys think? How long is too late? I know if I'm booking a reservation at a restaurant here in town, if I'm longer than 15 minutes, I should expect my reservation to be gone. And I may be charged as well because, restaurants have my credit card if you're making a reservation. So how long is 10 minutes too long? A good time, 15? John Hill suggests 20 minutes max. 20 minutes max. I would say 15 minutes. If you can't make it to main dining for your regular scheduled time, There are plenty of other options on a cruise ship. There's the buffet, there's the Lido deck where you can get hamburgers, hot dogs, you can have chicken on some Carnival cruise ships. You can do a lot, you can have room service if you want, but there should be a designated, expected time of when you arrive. Is 35 minutes just too far? And if not, what is a good time for cutoff? Let me know in the comments down below. Or do you think, no, hey, I'm on the cruise, they want me to eat at early dining time, but I have to get there when I get there, and they have to deal with it. Let me know in the comments down below. And now, before I get to the controversy on a brand new refurbishment on one of their flagships, you won't believe the controversy, but before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the refurbishments that have gone a little wrong, shall we say, to cruise ships that are late, to storms that are affecting your cruise, to service fees and charges that are coming up, and ships that are being blocked from going into cruise ports. All the stuff you need to know. I'll try and keep you as best informed here I can, so your cruise is just a little easier, maybe a little safer, maybe a little more fun, and maybe even save you some money as well. I hope you'll join us. It doesn't cost a thing, but it really does help the channel out. Okay, the Carnival Mardi Gras, one of the flagships of the Carnival fleet, has just come out of dry dock. And instead of everybody praising the new accessibility places they put on board, the wider areas and the freshness of some of the staterooms that they've done, and instead of people praising that, they are complaining and they are very upset, because one of the things they've now gone and done on board is they've now made 100 new staterooms on board. They didn't add them. What they did was they put a door between them. So now they're connected staterooms. I don't know about you, but many times I will try not to have a connecting stateroom, because those doors are even more paper thin than the walls are. And if you get a noisy person or a couple or a family beside you, that's all you hear all night and all day is the other room, because the door is there. So many people have booked their staterooms based on not having a connected door. Now they're, right now the first cruise coming out is a 15-day transatlantic cruise, and people are getting on board and they're going, holy jumping, why is this room connected? I purposely booked a non-connecting stateroom. And even on the website, it still hasn't been updated to the new platform. So even if you're booking right now, you may be booking a Carnival Mardi Gras cabin thinking it's not connected, but it is, and you don't know about it yet. So yeah, they should be updating these things. So it's coming out of dry dock. I mean, it's in dry dock for weeks. So you had weeks to update the floor plan. Why is it taking so long to update a simple floor plan on the website for future people booking? So if you're booking the Carnival Mardi Gras and you want a non-connecting stateroom, you're going to have to wait till the end of the month to be sure that it's non-connecting. But yeah, a lot of people are really frustrated with this and saying there's the lack of communication, the lack of transparency is very frustrating. And yeah, I kind of agree with this one, because you book something and all of a sudden they go into refurbishment and hey, guess what we've done? We've added more connected staterooms to help out families and groups traveling together, and you as just a couple sailing together, you're gonna have to deal with it now, I guess. So yeah, a lot of people angry over this. What do you guys think? Would you be angry? How about if you got on board and you didn't know about it, there it's connected, and then you get a noisy group beside you in that room for 15 days? How frustrated would that be? Well, let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.